Coming up on this week's All About Hennessy show, a dodgeball fundraiser, cleaning up at the schools, and that's one big hunk of ice. This show made possible by Pioneer. Get signed up this week and get the speed of fiber. GoFiber.com. And Cimarron Electric, serving Northwest Oklahoma with clean, reliable power for over 100 years. CimarronElectric.com. Welcome to the first edition of the All About Hennessy show. Ooh, we should have like a trumpet playing, some kind of fun things like that. Today's guest is Tim Taylor with 4T's Family Market, and Dr. Woods will be here shortly to give us the school update. But first, the news. So, I don't know about you, but when I was in school, dodgeball was like a really big deal. I mean, was that part of your career?
It was when I was in junior high school. It was a really big deal. We played it in grade school, but it got really mean in junior high school.
Yeah, if you survived dodgeball, that was a big deal.
Yeah, we didn't use balls this big. We used balls this big, and they really hurt.
Could fling them.
Yeah,
I wasn't a really big fan of dodgeball, but who knew that it could be used as a fundraiser? Watch this. Yeah. The Hennessey Downtown Gym, the old school gym on Main Street, was packed with a rowdy bunch of supporters last Saturday. The tournament was a fundraising event for the Lady Blue Eagles 8U softball team for uniforms and league fees. There were 6 adult and 4 youth teams competing in the event. The Lady Blue Eagles were serving up sandwiches, baked goods, and drinks to the large crowd. Well, they survived, and there were some winners, and that was a pretty good deal. Now, you know Boyd Poteet, right?
Yes.
I mean, all of us know Boyd as a plumber.
Lived next door to him when I was a boy.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did he have a lot of artsy things?
He did. He had a big thing dug into his backyard. He was always quite a star around our neighborhood.
Okay.
Deep thinker.
Well, he called me last summer, I guess it was, and he says, I need you to come and take a picture of my latherith. Is that how you say that? I don't know. I don't know. I had to Google what that was, and it's this really cool. And it's big. It's like almost an acre big of a walkway with gardens and all kinds of things like that. It was kind of pretty cool deal. So check this story out about Boyd and some of the things he has created. Most of us in Hennessey know him as a plumber, but Boyd Poteet is an artist dabbling in many forms of art. He has a labyrinth in his front yard and likes to make ice sculptures when the weather cooperates. Boyd said, I've been doing ice sculptures for about 40 years or so. I started doing them in my front yard, but not many people got to see them since I live out in the country. When Tim Taggart, my cousin, built Taggart's Garden Center, I started doing them there where more people could enjoy them. The past few weeks has been perfect for making ice, and this year's sculpture is about 25 feet tall. You can see the sculpture south of Hennessey on Highway 81, but you better hurry. It's warming up and it won't last long. Boyd is a surprising guy. You know, he actually did the plumbing for this building when I built this building, and learned a lot about Boyd. He's become a good friend, and so if you need art created or plumbing, Boyd's your guy. All right, when we come back, Dr. Woods will be here with the school update. This show made possible in part by Cherie Hicks, State Farm, auto, home, property, business, life, and health. Hi, we're back.
We're here. Yes, we are.
Yes. So, last 2 weeks have been wacky, but the last week, most notably, has been ultra wacky in your world with snow, freezing, damage.
Right.
So, where are we at?
So we are at full capacity back in school. Kids are here. Teachers are here. Bus drivers are bus driving. Everything is back. I always hate that back to normal because we don't know what that is anymore hardly. I heard we may be wearing masks to 2022. So, you know.
Well, I think it's funny because last Sunday, was it when you called me, or Saturday?
Saturday
I think the
morning.
conversation was, we may be out of school for a month. because of the initial damage.
Yep.
And you've been able to get the pros in there. Let's just show this video. This is the video about what it took to get the school back in order.
Okay.
Jet engine sounds, miles of extension cords, and equipment everywhere is the best description about what is happening during the cleanup at the Hennessey Elementary and High School. All of the furniture is piled in the middle of the rooms, and there are dozens of commercial dehumidifiers, blowers, and special sheetrock water extraction equipment running. The school hired 2 professional emergency disaster restoration companies to handle the cleanup. They are using special sheetrock extraction systems in all of the damaged rooms in the elementary school.
And the moisture meters that we use are very sensitive, and so I go in and I check every inch of wall to make sure that they're dry. Once that moisture content is below 16%, it can't grow mold.
Dr. Mike Wood said, "We are working to get the schools back open as quickly as we can, safely do so." So that video kind of shows the amount of work that was accomplished
Right.
in, 3 or 4 days?
Well, I think we walked into that, I believe, on a Tuesday morning, and we didn't have any idea when it started. We knew it hadn't started Friday because we had people in the school, but we walked in Tuesday morning, and the city had called. How I knew about it was
The water meter had blown off the building?
yeah, it caught on fire. It was spinning so fast. But Tiffany Tillman called and said, "Hey, we just want to let you know that the guy said there's water running out of the school down the street, and they shut the water off, but you probably need to go check it out." And which, when I did, there was the east end of the high school was standing in water.
Yep.
And the reason it looked so devastating was a lot of the damage came from 2 rooms, three rooms actually, where they had overhead damage, and ceiling tiles had fallen into the floor and splattered everywhere. And so it made it look a lot worse. And then we were in the middle of discovering that incident. Then Jose called and said, "Oh, by the way, there's water running out of the elementary school." So the early learning center did not have any damage. The elementary school did, middle school did not, and the high school did. The dome, the auditorium, the science lab, those were all pretty well spared as well. So what we originally thought was going to be a major high school incident turned out to be not that big a deal once we got the water stopped.
Now, you've lost 2 rooms for temporarily.
Yeah, room 1 and 2 are out for the foreseeable future. They are starting. Actually, the new heating unit was already installed in room 1, I believe, is with Miss Gwen's room. But again, I don't know how many times I've come on here and praised different groups, but our staff, our in-school staff, jumped on top of the situation and started just sucking the water up as quickly as they could. We called, and again, props to Rodney at Executive Carpet and Restoration and Chris at ProClean. They were here, I believe, Wednesday afternoon and started setting up heaters or fans and the dehumidifiers. And because we were at that point, Jose, Donnie, the ladies and their crews had all been in there and started cleaning up and got a lot of the stuff out of the way. So we rented a flood sucker from Man's Rental in Enid.
Okay.
I kind of enjoyed just even saying it, but it was.
I guess I missed that one.
Yeah,
I mean.
well, how many times do you get to go? Yeah, go get the flood sucker. You just don't have that opportunity.
It doesn't come up in conversation regularly.
No, like, Jack, where'd you leave the flood sucker? You just don't get to do that often. But again the effort that they took to get it to the point where then all the guys had to do from the mitigation companies was really dry it out.
Yeah.
Everything else was pretty
Dry
much
it out
done.
and then certify that it was mold-free,
right.
super dry, no more, nothing doing anything weird.
Yes, and that's the elementary school. That's why that ended up being such an issue. Was what we thought was a kind of a cement board was not. It was 5/8 inch sheetrock. So we had to take all the cove. We go into most all the classrooms. The cove is gone. They poked holes in the walls and started trying to draw the water out of the sheetrock. We found water behind if you go down the hallways, there's tile walls, and the tile, behind the tile was showing as wet. So they started doing all they could to get that, and it wasn't drying out. Well, Chris said they had to cut a hole in it, and he realized that it was not sheetrock behind the tile. It was kind of a lath and plaster type thing, but it was chicken wire and concrete. and then that's
Wow, okay.
they put that up first, and they attached the tile to that. Well, they had everything set to read sheetrock, and their machines were giving them false readings because it was actually concrete, and concrete's not going to dry like sheetrock's going to dry. So we ran into a few of those things, but by 8 o'clock this morning, when the kiddos showed up and the teachers showed up, the teachers actually showed up at 7:30, but when everyone got there, all the equipment was out. They moved the rooms around, and again, can't praise the staff enough. No one came in and goes, well, who's going to take care of this? Everyone just jumped in.
It was a mess. Every
fixed
room
it.
was upside down.
Yeah, we probably had 20
Every room.
rooms that were addressed by having stuff either shoved to a corner. But again, everyone jumped in, and I can't remember what day it was. I think it was Thursday of last week. Everyone came up. It had to be Thursday because the county guys, once again, came in and bailed us out with pushed all the snow
Plowed
up.
all
and-
the snow out of the parking
yeah,
lots. And
yeah. Matthew Fuchsa, his dad came up with a skid steer. I think Rayanne probably prompted that, but I wouldn't say for sure. But they came up. Gary was bundled up like a snowman out on the little tractor moving stuff where the county couldn't get in with their bigger equipment, and we were able to have clean parking lots when the kids got here, and plus even for the game Tuesday night, we had districts here. And the parking lot was fully accessible and easy to use. So, where we stand right now, everything has tested to where there should be absolutely no mold to worry about, no moisture or contaminants in the room. They've tested that, and they take a graph and they show you where it starts and where it ends up.
well, yeah. I mean, I had a conversation with one of the cleaning.
I think that was
guys,
Chris at the
and
at the elementary.
what showed me the instruments that they use to validate and verify or whatever it is that
Right.
the humidity level in this square inch of sheetrock is this, and it was pretty amazing.
And to verify that is Saturday morning I came up with the adjuster that is a independent adjuster but worked for OSmart, and he did the same thing, and he came back, and for me to go and tell the restoration guy how to do it would not have been much value because that's not my area of knowledge, and so the adjuster worked with the mitigation folks, and they determined that it was right or it wasn't right, and that's why we ended up on the hallway walls, was because the adjuster said that's got to be dried out more. We were down to tearing out cabinets in the back of the room. I mean, again, they worked side by side, so now you've got verifying sources that can compare to each other and say yes it is or no it's not, and again everything is in great shape and ready to go for our kiddos.
Very, very cool. Well, I'm excited that you're back up and running,
Yeah.
and everything's doing real good.
Walked the halls today, and it just was a great feeling to be. I think the kids and the
This
teachers
is
all enjoyed
almost
it.
2 weeks since you've been 100%.
I
least
think
a
it's
week and a half.
over 2 weeks because we were out the full. Remember, the first ice came on a Sunday, and so we were out till the
I forgot about
Thursday.
the ice storm.
So
Yeah.
we came in on Thursday, when we were back out Friday, and that whole week, and then the first 2 days of this week.
Yep.
So we've been out basically. We haven't been out. We've been doing virtual learning.
There were a lot of hallelujahs when we posted last night that school will be open today.
Yeah.
This is Wednesday. We're recording this, so
It was again. I just got a real sense of people were glad to be back to a standard routine that we've come to get used to. Lunches were being served. They were being with their friends. All that stuff was going on.
awesome. And then last night was the first round.
First round of districts for us.
Yep, and that went well.
Yeah.
Well, game wise,
Well, even game wise, I think what I've always looked for is growth. Whether it's in the classroom, whether it's on the floor, wherever it is that you look at growth and you just see the girls competing. There was
and they held it to the last. Was it last 30 seconds or last minute?
Last
or so?
minute and a half. Yeah. And kind of slipped away, but that comes from experience. Winning and losing is a learned behavior, and again, they're learning to win. The boys had a little easier row to hoe, and they came through and played like you expect them to.
Yep.
Both teams will be playing on Thursday. I think the girls are at 1 and the boys are at 8, I believe, something
You're
like
right.
that.
Yep.
And then
this is on Friday, right?
Thursday.
Thursday. So yeah,
the day they're actually
the day
seeing
you're
this.
watching this, 1 o'clock girls play, 8 o'clock.
Boys. And one of the things, if you come to the games, be prepared, because we have to evacuate the gym between games and between sessions and disinfect. So it is going to be a challenge. But again, I think still come up and support our kiddos.
It was neat though. Last night I was there as the Stroud people were arriving, and there was a lot of, at our facility. And so proud to be with the guy that helped make that happen. But it was just neat to see people that were.
Well, so far the Dome has performed at every level as we had hoped that it would. If you look at the walking track, we had hoped that would be a benefit to the community, and I don't see how you would argue that it hasn't really lived up to that with the number of people that we have walking and the number of people going, hey, open it more, so there's more opportunity. And again,
you need a traffic cop if you get too many. Slow down, pause, wait, go.
And the biggest question was during those 2 weeks we were out is the walking track going to be open? We're
they
okay.
They didn't ask about when you're going to open school.
No.
It was how about this
when
track?
will that walking track? And we, when we won't bring kids to school, I have a hard time bringing them to the walking track. But again, it's performed as expected and as hoped for. The folks that are running the facilities, you go to the concession stands or you go to the ticket, everybody is just really pitching in and making it a positive event, and that's the goal. Is that because next week our kids are going to be playing in Enid at the Stride Center. Well, we're going to have a 3 or a 4A regional in Hennessey, and that means
that's right. Yeah, so the event center is getting used for what it was built for.
Right.
We're hosting out-of-town people that are coming in and buying gas and eating and Yep.
Yes, and again, it's just great to, because there was a lot of trepidation when we were spending the money we were spending, and hopefully the audio would turn out good, and the audio has turned out fantastic. The video has turned out as expected and as advertised, and again, we just will continue to expand that and use it for more and more things, and again, get our dollars worth back out of it.
I was excited to see. I guess it's maybe Todd Cameron is running the when someone scores.
So there's again the biggest challenge is going to be from now on is keeping the positions manned, because it's not the same thing we had before. There's a whole section that is just the video. So if you wanted to do an ad or you wanted to do a congratulations, you want to do whatever, that we have that capacity. The large boards, every time a player, both sides, either side would score,
that's what I was talking about.
Their picture would show up on the screen.
Yep.
Again, that we just didn't have that capacity before, and the other schools were sending us that information so we could get it on there and give Ray Ann props. Not only can she get a parking lot clean, she can get video up on the board. She's
I was
multi-talented.
excited, because I guess up to this point, if one of our girls or boys scored, we'd make a cool thing, and you'd see their face, their picture on the screen.
Right.
But we even had our competitors when they scored, and that was pretty neat. That's kind of a cool.
Part of that is because that was a OSSA sanctioned event, so you can't have it one without the other. So we would have been fair anyway, but there was a little bit of external motivation for us to show both, because we had to. That's why we couldn't have band. That was an OSSA
That's
deal.
right,
So
band, and they had to limit the cheerleaders
they
to
limit
10.
the number of cheerleaders to right.
Yeah,
those are all OSSAA rules and
Yep.
guidelines. Because
So-
that's again that we want that, because again next week you're going to have people that have no other connection to Hennessey here, like I said, spending money, and so one of the things that we do is we have a concession stand. Well, those people that run the concession stand, I think it was cross country.
Well, that was my next
yesterday.
question. So, do you trade out who can run the concession stand? So it's not the same people all the time.
No, exactly. And again, so extrapolate that to the fact that if that's their fundraisers, then they don't chase you around with catalogs buying candy and candles and whatnot. So we can generate funds for the kids of the school without having to continually pull from our community.
Yeah, and this isn't like when we had games in the other gym where 10 people would go buy popcorn. We had 500 to 1,000 people in that building last night, and that's like every day for like a week.
And as it continues to grow, and Coach Glover or David Glover was here from OSSA, and everything I heard was that he was very pleased.
Is that
with
who
the
was
facility.
sitting on the over on that northwest corner?
No, he wasn't there last night.
Okay.
Those folks were from Stroud. He
Okay.
was. He came this morning, and I'm not sure what his purpose was. I had a doctor's appointment, so I couldn't be here. So, picture of health, by the way, if you were concerned.
Good job.
So,
Good
absolutely.
job. Very good.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else going on or anything
So-
we're looking forward to or coming up?
So, is this the new format?
This is it. This is kind of
Fantastic.
what we're going to do.
So, who am I following?
You are following Tim Taylor.
Ah,
Yes.
what a hard spot.
Yes.
He
I know.
probably talked about
He talked
canned
about meat-
hams
meat and stuff.
2-for-1 specials.
Yeah.
And, yeah. I got busted pipes and soggy carpet. And,
Work on it
Good
next
luck,
week.
Tim.
Let's have some more
Okay.
more fun news for next week.
well,
Yes.
we can talk about a couple wins in the regional tournament and where they play.
And the
Of course,
sun's
we
out.
talked about.
Baseball will be starting up.
Monday. I think we have a game Monday.
Wow.
And if you haven't been by, there's a new dugout going up
Yep.
thanks to the
Does it have,
stiff
is
winds.
the roof on it yet?
No roof.
But it is usable.
Well, I think so. Matthew Fuchsa, Coach Fuchsa, is contacting the other teams just to make sure they know what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
But there was not any protection in the front of it, before we replaced it. So I think it's functional. And again, I got the Tarrant Masonry's the guys that are over there, Lonnie Tarrant, and man, they've made a big strides forward just the last couple days, and it's looking really good.
Very, very cool.
So yeah.
All right. Thanks so much, Mike.
Thank
Get
you,
some
sir.
rest and recover
Absolutely.
from the last 2 weeks. And stay with us. We'll be right back with Tim Taylor. A portion of this show made possible by CSB, Community State Bank, mycsb.com. And we're back. So I had a question. Tim, for anybody that doesn't know, I can't imagine they don't, Tim's family owns 4 T's Family Market. It's up on the northeast corner of town. And it wasn't always there, was it?
It began in 1963 on Main Street.
Oh, all right. So you know where Woods Body Shop is? Am I my right place?
Right.
Woods Body Shop on Main Street. It's the building to the north. It's used for storage now.
Half
but-
block north of the post office.
Yep. And it was a really big building on Main Street anyway.
Well, it was, but I just drove past it the other day. It looks awfully small now.
well, compared to what you guys have, what kind of your operation
yeah.
is now.
We went from 4 aisles down on Main Street to 11 aisles of the same length
big time.
out on the edge of town. So,
Yes.
Yeah.
So Tim and I work together a lot because we help him with his advertising and things like that. So it's owning a supermarket, especially in a small town, is kind of a challenge, isn't it?
Yes, it is a challenge.
It's
Because you're limited to the amount of size of your customer base.
Yeah.
We don't draw a lot of people from 30, 40 miles away, so we're dependent upon the people that live here in the community.
Mm-hmm.
And so it can be challenging. It's always difficult, but it's always exciting, and this is our home, so we love doing it. So
But, that's the difference between what Tim's family does and like the big franchises. Tim and his family are always giving back. I mean, it seems like when the school's doing something, your place is the first place they stop to get hot dogs or something to donate, and he's an advocate at returning or giving back or whatever you want to the community, and we appreciate.
Well, that's
all
what I
you
say.
do.
This is our home, and it's in everybody's best interest to see these things continue, and we want to be involved, and it's our way of being involved in every little thing that can happen, and so we're glad to do it, glad to be part of the community.
So your dad started the store, and was the original place on Main Street?
Yes,
It
September
was?
of 1963. We still lived in Kingfisher. They bought the store from the Rickleys, and he named it 4 T's because there's 4 children in our family. All names started with T, and
Yep.
Grandpa Taylor used to call us his 4 T's, so Dad named it 4 T's, and September 1963. And we moved out where we are now at the northeast corner out there in August of '82, I believe.
Oh, really? So I was here when you opened that building.
Yeah.
I didn't realize
Yeah.
it. Wow, I got here in 1980, and I guess I didn't realize that the store was.
You were a
wasn't
young
there yet.
bachelor in those days.
I
and
was. I had
did-
other things on my mind. Yes.
Yeah.
We'll leave that one alone. So And Tim's a YouTube star, by the way. I don't know if you've seen that, or Facebook star.
Facebook.
Yes,
so far.
he does his what? How do you describe those?
Well, we just did. I'm Tim the Grocer, and then we just do little spots to advertise little special things that we're doing or to introduce things. I'm going to use this segment to introduce a new employee that we've just hired. If you,
He even got arrested for fishing in the pond on
That's
fishing.
right.
Yeah, that
I forgot about that.
yeah,
That's one
that
of
was
our
probably one of your better ones.
most yeah.
bet.
We used to do a lot of funny stuff. We like that, but since COVID, we've just been so tied up. We do a lot of delivery now that we didn't do before, and it just seems like there's just no time to.
What's the
get
cool
that
thing
stuff.
about a small town? You do what you need to do to get it done.
Yeah.
And if people need to be delivered, you can deliver and that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. So you have
One good thing about Hennessy is you're never more than 5 minutes away from any place else. So it's not a big trouble for us to do it, big problem.
wow.
So,
So you have a new employee.
I do. We're very excited.
It's not Dr. Woods, is it?
No, it's not.
He's
Dr. Woods.
retiring. He might be needing something to do.
I'll have him come by and fill out an application
Okay.
so that I have his telephone number. But we have had a change in our meat department. We have a new meat director.
Really?
And it's Kaylee Fox. She lived here when she was in grade school, all the way up through junior high, then moved away and lived in Edmond. I think after graduation, she moved back here. She worked for us wrapping meat in the meat department for a while, then decided to go to college, moved to Enid, wound up learning how to cut meat. She got a store. She got a job in a store there wrapping meat also, learned to cut meat, and now we've hired her to be our meat director.
So
at
she's
the
the
store.
director of meat. Does
That's
she have
right.
like a cool hat for
That's
that
right.
position? Or something in
Well,
it?
she has a hat. I don't know whether it's cool or not, but the main thing is she keeps the meat case full, and we can cut anything at any time with this with her. And we've always been blessed to have good meat cutters, and we've built the business on meat. And we're about to launch a brand new program that is I'm really excited about. Certified Hereford beef program. It's like
Really?
certified Angus beef, but this is Hereford beef, and nobody has it around here. And Western Sizzling was built on Hereford beef, and
I remember
so
that.
yeah. Remember they used to have the big Hereford out in
Yes.
front.
Are you going to get a big cow to put out in front?
We're looking for a big cow for out in front. We
I know where you
haven't
can
found one
I
yet.
know where you can get a dinosaur.
Maybe we could paint it red and white.
There you go. Once
But
again,
anyway, we're really excited about that sort of stuff. I always have to be moving forward in some direction, and so that's what we're trying to do.
that is so cool. And that's one thing I enjoy about visiting with Tim. He's just so positive and progressive and trying to be creative and move things forward.
Well, we love what we do, and we love the place where we live, and so it makes it. I've never dreaded getting up and going to work in the morning. I love it. So.
Very, very cool. Well, is there anything else you want to share with everybody while you have their ear?
Well,
And-
they might watch for videos as it comes up. We've got a few special things coming up in the spring. We'll be back on Facebook with more videos, but I've lost. We've had a change, and I'm going to have to do unedited videos like this one, and we'll see how it goes.
Good.
So,
Very cool.
thanks
Well,
for the time.
Good luck with that. Well, that's it for this week. Remember, you can listen to this or watch this. This is also a podcast, so you can look forward on any of your podcast apps, and then if you follow the podcast, it will remind you when there's a new one up, because the content is just so amazing that you could listen to it or watch it. That's all we got for this week. We'll check in next week for the second edition of the All About Hennessy show. Thanks, Tim.
Thank you. I enjoyed it.